Right, guys, so how do you manage, right, doing appointment setting alongside a full-time job or a 9 to 5 or just like having other commitments? Now, I'm going to run you through exactly how to do it, okay? And this is actually a client of mine that came to me after landing a pretty healthy role, to be honest. Paper appointment with loads of lead flow, really lucrative role, but he's also working full-time, okay? Now, that comes as an issue for him because, you know, there's a lot of lead flow, a lot of work to do, very exciting, but he needs to have the time to put in to make that money, right? So I hopped on a one-to-one call with him and we mapped out what his schedule is going to look like, right? And funnily enough, he implemented this and the next day, right, he booked 4 calls straight after struggling because he was kind of running around like a headless chicken beforehand. Now he's got a structure and he can actually book consistent calls and he's going to make a lot of money as a result. Okay. So a bit of a backstory on myself before we get into it, right? And why you should listen to me. I've been a setter for 2 years. I still do it to this day. I coach it as well. I've generated nearly $2 million in cash for clients like Charlie Morgan and William Brown. I've made well over 6 figures in commissions. I know what I'm talking about. Okay. Just to reassure you. So this is the schedule that we gave him, right? So Wyatt works from 9:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. every single day, okay? He wakes up at 6, right? He gets a 1 hour, 30 minutes to 1 hour break, like a lunch break. And then he goes to the gym from 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. And then he comes home and then, you know, has the rest of the day free to himself, right? So he was kind of all over the place thinking like, I don't know how to structure this. I don't know when to do my follow-ups. I don't know when to send new messages. I don't know when to respond to DMs, kind of all over the place. As a result, not booking as many calls or hitting his KPIs, right? And that's the thing with not having a good schedule. That's the leverage it can have. It can really stop you from, you know, booking as many calls and getting paid as much, right? So what I said to him was, Wyatt, what we're going to do, right, before work. So you wake up at 6 a.m., which is good, right? Now I recommend you to do the same, is to wake up early. Before work, send all new messages, right? And interactions to followers, for example, right? And track it in the sheet. Now, if you want this sheet is actually responsible for me hitting multiple 5 grand months. If you want that sheet, right, the link, no, not a link, it's going to be a link in the bio to my Instagram, right? Follow and DM me on there at Aidan K Social, right? Message me sheet and it's yours, right? But we've got this sheet that we're going to use for it. Before work, right? He's going to wake up, get ready, kind of like that. You know, he's going to have a shower, all of that kind of stuff. Before he goes to work, in that 3-hour window, right, he's going to send all new messages and interactions to the followers, right? So do all of the inputs and then track it in the sheet, okay? So track all of the inputs, all of the people you message, all of the new followers that came through from the night before, right? And then if you have time, it depends on the lead flow, right? Starts the positive reply follow-ups. So you're going to have 2 stages of follow-up. You're going to have the positive replies and the super engaged leads that are ready to book on a call that you sent the calendar link to but haven't booked in yet, right? So there's 2 stages. We're going to start stage 1, which is the positive replies, okay? So all of the inputs tracked in the sheet. And then if you have time, depending on the lead flow, of course, and how many follow-ups you have to do before work, you're going to respond to all of the leads in stage 1, which is the positive reply follow-ups, okay? Then you've done a massive bulk of it already. You started the new chats, right? And you've done all the follow-ups. And now throughout the day, you're just going to get responses to those inputs, right? You're going to get responses to those messages you sent, right? So check DMs every 30 to 45 minutes at work and respond when you can. Now, I know you still need to do your job, but with a 9 to 5 like this, in Wyatt's case, and also I know a lot of you guys as well, your 9 to 5s, if it's not anything too like technical or too intense or too work heavy, I know a lot of you guys go on your phone like every 30 minutes anyway. Like, don't try and lie to me. I know you do. I've worked in that space as well. I've done these jobs before. I know you guys use your phone every 30 minutes. I know you do. Don't lie. Okay. So every 30 to 45 minutes. Now you can even use this as an excuse to go on your, you know, to go to the toilet. It takes like a 5 to 10 minute block to just keep on top of the inbox, check the DMs, respond, make sure everything's okay, answer questions, handle objections, booking calls, right? Then you're going to mark them into the next stage, right? Put them into the next stage if they become a positive reply, if they book a call, if they actually get sent the calendar link but haven't yet booked in, you're going to track all of that as well, okay? It doesn't take that long, right? So you can check DMs every 30 to 45 minutes at work and respond when you can. Now, I know you still need to do your job. That's why we're going to keep it to 30 to 45 minutes because that block that you need to do this is like 5 to 10 minutes, right? Depending on the lead flow, okay? Then you're going to have your lunch break, okay? So you can do your work at your job. You're going to keep on top of the inbox while you're working in that first, you know, initial part of the day. And then you're going to finish all the responses that you get from your inputs, right? And then do your follow-ups in your lunch break as much as you can. Now, ideally, you want to complete all of the stage 1 follow-ups and all of the stage 2 follow-ups from the day before, right? Depends how much time you have, depends how quick you are, depends on, you know, how much lead flow you have, right? But if you can't finish it all there, you can finish it later, which we'll get into in a second. But ideally, right, you're going to be able to finish all the responses from the inputs you just sent in the morning, right? And then do all of your follow-ups, finish off the ones that you couldn't finish off before work, and then also finish off the calendar sent stage leads, right? Where they got the call link sent to them but didn't book in. That won't take you that long because not as many people that were in the positive reply stage are going to flow through to the calendar sent stage, right? Because, you know, obviously like there's going to be a drop off, right? Not everybody's going to want to book in a call. Okay, that's totally fine, so to be expected. So that's not going to take you as long. You're going to finish those ones, so the super engaged leads, the ones that are ready to book on a call, and also finish off the positive reply leads, right? And all responses in your lunch break as much as you can. And then again, for the rest of the day while you're at work, right? Keep an eye on the inbox every 30 to 45 minutes again. While you're working, keep an eye on the inbox, respond to, you know, the responses you get, for example, booking calls, you know, handling objections, answering questions, just keeping on top of the inbox while you're there. Okay. Then when work is finished, goes to the gym, responds to DMs while he's there, right? Then go home and finish all responses and keep an eye on the inbox for the rest of the night, right? So it's literally going to be, you're going to do the bulk of it in the morning before work. So all of the inputs and the follow-ups, right? Ideally, if you can, if you have enough time, depending on the lead flow, what you want to do is frame it so that you get the inputs and the follow-ups out of the way straight away, right? Before work interferes, right? If need be, wake up earlier, okay? Get all of that out of the way. And then the rest of the day is literally just going to be keeping on top of the inbox. That's it. And it doesn't mean being glued to the phone. It means checking your phone every 30 to 45 minutes and responding, answering questions, handling objections, tracking it, right? Doesn't take that long, I promise you, right? And also depending on the lead flow, like you might not have to have as much of a commitment, okay? But yeah, you're going to get the bulk of it out of the way as soon as you can, right? So ideally you want to do it so that it's like in the morning, inputs, follow-ups, done. Rest of the day, respond to DMs like that. And it's that simple, right? And you can hit a couple of grand a month, match your job wage with like this process, then quit your job with it, then do this full time, go harder, put in more volume, make, you know, 5K a month, start doing dialing, etc. That is the structure that I recommended Wyatt. He's following it now. And honestly, he's smashing it. You know, he implemented it and the next day booked 4 calls and he's on like, I think he's on like, it's either $30 or $40 per call. Let's double check with him. He's on definitely a pay per appointment offer, right? So this is the thing. There's lots of lead flow that he's got there. If he just like has these, for lack of better words, these lock-in sessions, right? Or these deep work sessions, he can make a lot of money doing it, right? Now, you might have the objection of, oh, but I don't want to be working all the time. I promise you guys, like if you were getting paid really well to do this, to just respond to DMs, you wouldn't have a problem, right? And it's not that hard. It really isn't. Like, what else are you going to do in your free time, right? You're sat watching videos on how to make money online already, right? Replace it with actually doing the work to make money online. You see what I'm trying to say? Your free time consists of trying to find ways to make money online and wishing your life was better. Why not spend that time actually doing something better, right? Like you're not going to get any value from sitting at home and resting and watching TV, right? Do something that you actually want. You're already watching like a video like this, for example. Spend that time actually making money, which is what you're trying to do. Okay. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Really quick video. But if you want my personal one-to-one help to help you do this, right? Whether you're working a 9 to 5 or not, I can help you succeed very well with appointment setting and make a lot of money with it, just like I have myself. And you'll be learning from someone who's still practicing what they preach. I'm not one of those coaches that used to do it in the past and now, you know, coaches it when he doesn't know what he's talking about. No, I still do it to this day. And also I've done close to 2 million in cash collected, right? I know what I'm talking about. I've been around the block, so to speak, right? So if you want my personal one-to-one help, helping you land a high ticket setting role guaranteed in the next 60 days, right? There's going to be a link down below in the description to book in a call with me. I want you to book that in, right? And I'll have a chat and I'll see what I can do, okay? Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video.